Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Welcome to BeoTalk number 231. As per usual, go leave a like and subscribe and all that jazz. It helps us out a great deal in the YouTube algorithm. A super chat gives you a guaranteed answer to your topic and or question. Same for super thanks, I think they're called now. You can super chat after the event.
Be a super
Thank
bro.
you, YouTube.
That's pretty cool.
It's weird, but whatever. If you're into audio only, go and subscribe to our Substack, and
Or close your eyes.
that works too. But if you desperately want a player that plays in the background on the go, it works through Substack, and it's generally up an hour or two after the fact. I do my best. There's that, and big event. Well, I guess it's totally ignored by B&O, but I would think it's big. But happy birthday, A9.
10 years?
Yeah.
Shit.
So either use the promo code they give you, or over at Skinny Play, or don't, or use mine. It's up to you. I don't care. Mine works with everything. Come join our Discord for more daily shenanigans. Always good. And come join our Twitch and that sort of thing. And that seems to be about it. But yeah, if you have an A9, it's been 10 years now. And Skinny Play does all the covers.
Yeah, I'm wondering what to get because I'm getting a stage for this goofy little TV here. I wonder what should I go for a cover, or should I just go with? Should I get the wood one, or should I get the black one, or should I get the silver one? As far as the outside goes, the edge.
Personally, I would do the aluminium one.
That's what I'm thinking because it matches everything I got.
And then you can either pretty it up with Skinny Play or with Prestige Creators.
That's what I'm also debating too. What should I do? But yeah, the wood here wouldn't really work because it doesn't match anything.
No, and the basic black and alu one, to me, matches with most things.
Mm-hmm.
Because the insert you can change to whatever.
That's right.
I mean, you can have cowhide print if you really wanted to.
I don't think I go that extreme. I don't know what I like. Honestly, there's so many, right, to pick from. Fuck. But I don't know what I would go with.
You can go full custom and get a panoramic shot of one of your vacation spots.
Yeah.
Or your face.
Yeah, no, that's still supposed to go on the A9, for God's sakes. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that at all. But
which is by far and away the best choice, if you ask me.
Silver and black?
No, your face on an A9.
No, dude, that's that's funny shit. That's actually a good picture, so yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, let's not go there, people. Don't do that to yourself.
Too late to gone there.
I don't want to be. This one's also okay.
I mean, and if you ask for it, the Skinny Place said you get 10% off this one regardless.
Oh God! You should charge me 10% more for it. Lost my mind. Oh God, no! There's my chicken wing shoulder there.
But yeah, happy birthday, A9. You're not totally forgotten by us, although B&O seems to have forgotten that you've been with us for 10 years.
I guess soon enough they'll go to Mozart with it, to the Gen 5, probably. You don't think so? I think that'd be stupid if they left it, like, because that's an iconic design. Why wouldn't they do that? I think they should.
Yeah, well, hey, wait, why can't I poll things? Start a poll. Should the A9 go Mozart?
Yeah, I think they should. I think they definitely should go Mozart. And without the GVA nonsense too.
Well, that's always an option.
Yeah. Yeah, so, without the GVA.
I mean, I don't like the whole GVA stuff, as everybody knows, because it makes everything worse.
Well, for me, what I don't like about it now that, like living this freaking nomadic life here, every network you go to, I have to factory reset the fucking thing because I can't pair my Bluetooth remote to it.
Yeah, somehow Bluetooth and line-in is owned by Google, which is I don't understand how you give that away, but maybe it's Google and maybe there's some money involved or something.
I wonder why line-in, so they can monitor what's being played into it.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's Google after all.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, if you put your Android phone in airplane mode, it still tracks your location and just waits to upload it until you're out of airplane mode.
Yeah, so that's for that reason I'm out. I'm not doing the freaking GVA anymore.
I mean, Google loves data. So
yeah, I'm done with the GVAs.
There's that. And there was it last week? This is why I'm sort of about an A9, because they had a financial Q1 disclosure talk thing.
Yeah.
And this leads me to ask people, can anybody loan me 61 million euro?
What do you need it for, buddy?
To buy Bang & Olufsen, as in the company.
They're selling again?
No, but if you look at the stock price, it's 8.2 DKK, which is like a share is like €2 and 2 cents.
Okay.
So
and they have how many shares? 600?
No, 127 million or something.
Okay.
So if you're over 40%, you basically get a gigantic say in where the company goes. So could somebody here lend me 60 million euro? I'm going to buy a quarter of the company. Go full on Elon Musk style. Because it's 8.2 DKK, which is like a €2 per share or something.
So what would you do if you owned it? Like, what would you do if you had a say?
Cut a lot of the bullshit out.
Example.
The nonsensical marketing. The weird, how would you say, collaborations that don't necessarily. They seem like vanity
projects.
Missions. Yeah, projects for internal people, right? Like, maybe I'm old-fashioned, but if I were in a position like that in Bang & Olufsen, I'd mostly care about making money. Not so much about how to control people's perception and how I personally feel about working there. Because if you're making money, generally everybody feels okay.
Everybody's happy.
I mean, so yeah, the last quarter wasn't so good. Which is.
Do you think the theater will turn it around?
Yes.
I think so. We've pre-sold few of them. I think 7. I think sold together now.
Yeah. Thank you, Sandeep, for making some highlights. But total revenue for Beano Q1 is down by 8% versus last year, and it's minus 10% local currency, which is like oof. Because they finally started making some good money The product sales are down 16% versus Q1 2022, which is I mean, it's Q1.
What came out
so
in
it's
Q1 2022?
It's 2021. Sorry,
or 2021.
So it's probably a lot of people waiting for things like balance updates, theaters, because it was rumored that that would come for the longest time around that time.
Mm-hmm.
A large extent, which is actually good, is partially offset by brand partnering, plus 44%. So the leather you hate is actually apparently a good thing. The Supreme stuff we don't understand is actually a good thing. The Rimowa, that sort of stuff, is apparently very, very good outside of the core B&O We Buy Speakers group, as in like 28s, that sort of thing.
I guess there is people that collect Rimowa bags, right? And or like the Rimowa suitcases and shit. And then when it comes out with the B&O, to them it's a special more than to us, I think.
Yeah.
It's like the Balenciaga nonsense, right? Like, I can't understand it possibly, but you know what? Good for you if you got that.
Yeah. I mean, apparently that does something to some people.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently that also means that's kind of the future of the brand in partnering, if it brings up sales that much. Partially why everything is dragged down is that China went into full-on lockdown again in that time frame. Like, was it Shanghai was like totally shut for 6 weeks or something, including factories and everything. Like, you couldn't leave your house, and it's one of the wealthier cities. So yeah, that was on its ass. I mean, European sales were only down 2%. And American sales were actually up by 14%. Which I think has a lot to do with the BeoPlay portal specifically, and also Stage finally getting a foot in the door with Amazon and that sort of stuff. If I look at YouTube reviewers like Andrew Robinson, they regularly talk about stages and things, which is a good thing. And then one of the bigger problems they said they were facing, why everything is down, is just supply chain and cost of components. I mean,
that brings everything down to its knees.
Yeah,
like
so margins dropped quite substantially because, like I said, there's one chip in the Beolab 50s, and I forget which one, but apparently normally it was like €1.50 or something, but at one point they were asking like, well, if you want it by end of the month, it's 300.
Fuck.
I mean, so then you have to choose like which of my customers can wait and which can't, and how long has this order been there, and are we going to bend over for this or not? Yeah.
That sucks. But that's the reality of a post-COVID market now, right?
The good news is that actually is coming down, as in the the whole supply chain chip shortages. It's becoming less of a factor, and more stuff is coming online. Also, the way they offset the higher sales in the US, or the Americas, as they would say, but I take that to be mostly the US and Canada, is that the amount of earphones they would have normally allocated for sale in China, they basically sold through Amazon. Because, I mean, if you know it's locked down, you're not going to sell anything anyway.
Well, cash and carry stuff, right? Whatever can be shipped.
Yeah, but if, like, in the Chinese lockdowns, where literally you can't get out of your house and the government brings you food.
Oh, that's the next level crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm still thinking as a Canadian, we have rights, you know.
Like, yeah, or so they say.
We have rights and left.
But if you want to be a part of the B&O investors meetings, I think you're invited if you have one share. So if you have like €1 or $1 or whatever to spare, just buy one, and you can come to those investors meetings and show those 28s in all those colors and whatnot that we showed a while ago.
Americans and Canadians can't buy them though, right?
I think you can. I don't exactly know how, but surely you can.
I should have put the 25 grand I had in crypto into the B&O shares. At least if it drops down, it doesn't feel as bad than getting your ass, then getting your ass shaved by a stupid meme coin or something, or a project that's not doing right. So,
but the notable good points is that the collaborations are showing good signs of engagement, and this is where I agree with Sandeep, where I have a feeling the end of the A9 is coming. And that's partially because it was on the homepage all of a sudden for no apparent reason. Like, there's no insider knowledge on this, but it is 10 years old. And all of a sudden you market it. This generally only happens when stuff comes close to EOL. Which is either an upgrade or it's going to be... Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to go away, dude. I think that product is way too important, in my opinion.
But I haven't gotten to there yet. So the aim for 2024, 2025 is get 10 new products or products being certified cradle to cradle.
Okay.
And this is... In my mind, it's kind of stupid because it mostly is an investor certificate, like my bio milk versus like this cow that had like a fence or something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get it to a point, but like the whole thing is like where we can update chips within time, like that is yet to be proven, but the label is given out.
Mm-hmm.
And almost everything, in my personal opinion, that B&O has ever made is already cradle to cradle, since even bloody Penta still won't die, and they still have a fan base, and you can still repair them, and
they're 30 years old.
Yeah. I mean, my record player is like 13 years older than I am, which is crazy, and it still works. So like, I don't understand how that cradle to cradle makes it longer lasting. Other than it's like
a bullshit certification for companies that are unlike B&O, where the longevity of the product and its relevance within the household is at least for a decade. That was one of their mottos, right?
This is partially why I don't like the smart stuff, because the obsolescence is almost built in. Because software and tech like that will change. It's like, I sort of get that it's a modular design that you can change the innards, but I don't know. It's I have to see that before I believe it. I mean, it works, and if there's no reason to change it or make it new, I don't really understand why you would.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
well, like in a level, I think that the most thing that are prone to go are the battery and let's say the Wi-Fi or network module, right? Because that's basically on constantly, versus the amps and whatever, where they are only on demand when they're playing. Where if this thing is in standby and I press the remote on the Via Remote 1, like, it's instantaneous in this apartment, so it's always on. It's always streaming into itself to be I guess, or it's within the connection, I guess, right? Like, I don't know if it keeps the buffer on the tune-in radio or something, but it's instantaneous, man. It's like literally turning on an FM radio that is just, the feed is immediate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I guess it proves the network speed. Whatever's here is actually not bad. I didn't even test it. I'll do that now, just for the shits and giggles. Let's see where we're at. Do you think I'll drop?
No. It shouldn't.
Fuck, it'd be funny. Let's see. Let's go. Let's see.
But like, I mean, to me, it would almost be easier if you had like a sort of cubby where you could have a redesigned core just in with a cable, right?
Four.
Because any smart thing,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, I get it that it's sort of like you keep dealers alive because if you ever need to change those chips, that's not a DIY thing.
Most likely not.
So it's not like you open a cubby, you slide whatever it is out, you literally wire out the cables like PL
It's
or
not
whatever.
like the neural net processor on a T800. You
Yeah.
just needle nose pliers, pluck.
But this is why I'm kind of like Beolab 18s, for instance. In 10, 20 years, they'll still work because they're dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why it lasts so long. Like, I'm fairly confident with 50s about that. With 28s, the Beosound part of it, I'm not sure if the whole Bluetooth and whatnot will be enabled at that point, or if phones are even compatible. Like they'll work as PowerLink speakers, but that's
Mm-hmm.
half of the use case gone.
Yes.
And the
But then
cradle to
again,
cradle, I
you
guess, is like you change the chip and it works again with streaming, and it's like, I would have rather had them dumb and have an external source for that, like a BioVision, a
or any
theater.
sort of thing. Yeah. I honestly think that they should consider doing a head unit again. Like they should just bite the bullet and make a head unit. I think that should be. The core is hideous. It's a hideaway product, and it's painful to use. Like unless you are using the app, the limitations are great, especially if it's in a house that requires you to put them in the rack, because then Bluetooth is out of question. So then the problem is that you either outsource the control to a different company like Control 4 or Savant, right? Which feels bad. Or you put link eyes everywhere, which makes everything looks like it's back in the 80s again or 90s, right? So um, I don't know. I think that regardless of, they should have something that is not a mistake like the BeoSound moment was, because that is now just a $3,000 tune-in player. But it should be something that is a little more presentable. Like even the core, if they dressed it into something like the NLML converter, you know what I mean? Like it's because it looks like a cheap China box and a fucking Raspberry Pi in it or whatever, right? The thing is, because it doesn't even have its own power supply. It's outside, so whatever the board is, that's the only board you get. That's the value on it, plus I guess the Beolink and the integration. But I still think that they should come up with something
Yeah.
that has a screen that's tangible. I think that if not, then enable playlist browsing on the Halo within a connected product.
I wonder if they can manage that. I hope they do. But yeah, since they're aiming for 10 cradle to cradle certified products by 2024 to 2025, something like that, I
Mm.
wonder if the A9 is going to follow in that. And I wonder if you can get current products certified like that with just new electronic innards.
Well, but that would mean that the A9 would have to be internally completely redesigned, because right now it's just one board and everything sits on it. So when that thing goes, you're fucked. Like you have to replace the entire board, which is, I don't know, $2,000 or $1,500, whatever it is in US. I last time I checked, these boards go up and down like stock. So and I don't think that B&O takes the Gen 1 boards back on credit. So you just now you have a nice PCB
I think,
frisbee for your.
yeah, I think Gen 1s are totally unsupported at the moment.
Yeah, that's just dead piece of hardware now. So
Well, also,
do
it's
you want to
10
fix
years
it or
old.
right? So and that's the thing. Like I had one guy that his, I guess, 9-year old A9 or 8-year old A9 died finally, And it's just like, because he's in love with the shape, right? And he bought the fucking Death Star cover for it, so like it's not going anywhere, right? And he's a huge Star Wars fan, so we're like, well, fuck. Like the only way to do it is just get another one. So we ordered one, a non-GVA, smart choice, and I set it up, and yeah, I've been happier. And he's like, holy fuck, it sounds better than the first one. I'm like, yeah, because it's got a couple more speaker drivers in it, right? And it does the
Room
noise room
compensation.
compensation, so it's sick. Like it just, he was surprised. And yeah, that's some people that just, that design will never go away, right? Or they don't want it to go away. I think it's a beautiful piece of product or equipment. I wonder how long the stage is going to be around. If the requirement or necessity for it will dwindle since the theater is around.
Yeah, I mean, the poll, 75% of people say the A9 should go Mozart. So, Bino, if you're listening and if it's in the planning, good. If it's not, please try and think of it.
Take a note. Take a side note here.
Because it's such an iconic speaker. And it doesn't look 10 years old, and it never did. So,
no.
But I do... It is kind of a different B&O era, in a way. Because this still came from the BeoPlay era,
from the happy times,
and that no longer exists. BeoPlay, it's a B&O A9 now. Bang & Olufsen A9.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't want it to go, but that's a whole nother thing. I kind of say the same for the Beosound 1 and 2, but those are also getting on quite a bit.
Yeah.
And the aluminium that's on there is gorgeous, but it's also like 2 mil thick, and that's gotten like 3-4 times as expensive to make as when it was launched. So it's just the practicalities of the modern era. I mean, if you're making that aluminium somewhere here in Europe, yeah, you're screwed for just the energy of making it, let alone the raw product.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I think that the stage will stay for a long time because it's the perfect entry product into more or less everything B&O now.
Yes.
It's probably still the best product they have for a variety of reasons, not purely sound or anything.
Just the utility of it.
Yeah. I mean, you can use it on its own, but you don't have to. And there's nothing else they have that has an HDMI in that's that cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it's pretty full-featured for a beginning product. It's like a V1 all over again.
Pretty much. It's up to you what display you choose to go with.
Yeah.
Over top of it.
Also, they are putting in a hiring freeze, except with the exception of software development.
Oh, good.
So, yeah, I don't think you need more managers to manage things that they've been managing. I mean, I bet
they're becoming unmanageable.
I bet you it's somewhat of a modern company where you have a meeting about a meeting to have a meeting about the next meeting.
That's right.
Or at least it feels like that from the outside.
No, they should definitely go strong on the software. But I honestly believe that that they should also evolve a little bit more. I would personally like to see some more progress with the Halo as a remote, especially like with the stage, not the stage, but the theater come out.
Yeah,
I think that there should be. I think there should be an access to browse the B&O radio directly on the. The display is large enough that you could get away with it, and it's got a good resolution for it also.
That's good enough to read song titles, text, and
exactly. And it's colored, so you could have the station art, whatever, as like it's on the old Beosound 5 or Beo6 remote, I guess. So I think that should definitely be addressed. And don't fucking tell me you couldn't do it. If you could do it on Beo6 with the Beomaster 5 to browse the DLNA content inside, I'm certain you can link the bloody account from Deezer into the Halo, so you can just have the playlists or favorites or whatever you tap on, and then just have that as a category. Yes, I guess you'd have to agree on a layout and how it all looks overall, and so on and so forth. Because you definitely give it that B&O-ish feel, or have to give it a B&O-ish feel inside that remote. But I think that it's necessary to do something with that remote to justify its cost for how little it does right now. And if you want more expansion capabilities with Halo, then you're out another $1,600 for a fucking BeoLiving Intelligence, right?
Yeah.
That's assuming that you had already invested a few $1,000s into a lighting control infrastructure in your home. So, or a few $100s in Home Depot to get yourself a freaking Philips Hue and be cool with it.
Yeah. They're gonna focus more on big cities. So apparently they had a win London strategy, and that worked very well. So they're gonna go for that in Paris and New York next. Another exciting thing, especially for you, is they're adding the US as a new core market.
Well, that's good.
So they're finally on their way back into the US, as in like we can actually do stuff here. And they want to reduce their reliance on Europe and China, which almost seems logical.
I'd say.
I mean, especially now that Europe is in a bit of a pickle with the whole Eastern stuff going on, and China is a bit being China. You might as well rely a bit more on the US, but to do that, you have to be there. So they signed a new partnership with Origin Acoustics.
Oh.
Origin Acoustics has a bunch of official custom installers there, and they will get full access to the entire B&O portfolio, like if they were a dealer. And I have some articles for that. I mean, Origin Acoustics makes currently the Celestials and the BeoAmp 2 and BeoAmp 16 for B&O. And also the Palatials they make. So it's I've dealt with them before, and it's a good company. I like them a lot. They're very... It's going to sound stupid to say, but they're much more on the ball than B&O is.
Because they're American. So they have to...
No, I think they're Danish too.
Are they?
I think so.
Well, I don't know. They're running like Americans efficiently with customer service.
Let me see if I'm just did an oopsie. They are American? Well, maybe that's why, yeah. But anyway,
you gotta give a shit here, bro. Otherwise, it's over.
But the custom integration people of theirs will get... they're the new US brand manager for B&O, and they get the full portfolio, so you can mix and match your Origin, or you can just go like, hey, Origin dudes, I want only B&O, and wire that shit up for me in my custom house. And they'll go,
sure.
What's
sad? Like this shop here, the guys are scared of that full integration stuff. They rarely ever do lighting control combined with the stereo systems and whatever. I noticed here. I don't know why. Like, that's where the money is, like in the custom stuff.
I mean, this is, by the way, what I mean. The full portfolio. They get headphones too, BeoVisions, sound bars, you name it. So if you know your Origin acoustic guy and you go like, hey, I want some BeoPlay portals, and they'll go, sure, we'll order some for you. There's nothing to integrate, but you can buy it off of them, which is sweet. Because there are more places than B&O stores are currently in the US. I mean, they have 700 retail stores. B&O has 700 retail stores, but almost none of them are in the US. There's like 10 or something in the US.
Well, what's in US, if you think about it? New York, Miami,
2
Palo
in
Alto,
Philly.
So 2 in Philly and California.
There's 1 in DC. There's 2 or 3 in California.
And that's it.
And there's 1 in Ohio, I think.
No, Chicago's done.
No, Ohio.
To New York.
Which is like 2 states over.
Oh.
Which is like close because it's a 6-hour drive.
I don't think there is in one in Ohio. Maybe or maybe it's just a pro partner of some sorts, but I don't think there is. But yeah, there's very little for how much land to cover here. Fuck, it's a shame.
I mean, yeah, it's the coast and nothing in between.
Mm.
Also, Origin Acoustics is. Remember that video I did about 2 years ago now about Amina invisible speakers that you can like they're the retailer for that too in the US. Which is, I mean, it's an older concept of like that plate vibrating in a plasterboard wall, but they're actually quite good speakers, and they're, I mean, they're not like too much bass and your wall would crack, obviously, but they sound okay, and they're hidden, and you don't see anything, and you can have them high up the wall without seeing anything next on your fireplace.
Yeah, we've done those. They used to be called Stealth Acoustics. I don't know if that brand is still around. That's
Probably
what we used to do in the B&O store. And they didn't sound that great, but obviously there's limitations to having things behind the wall. But those were 10 years ago as well. So
a lot of these concepts, to me, for an installer, I think the sales value, and also for installers and for customers, because you pay for the time, is how easy it is to install. And those Amino ones came with their own back boxes, and it was literally, you have a template you cut out, you put it in, you put plaster over it, and you're done, and you just paint it.
Fuck, I would never do that in my life, bro.
I understand, but there's plenty of people that want that because they don't like to look at speakers.
I know.
And they probably don't know B&O, because I agree for the most part that a lot of speaker brands aren't all that pleasant to look at.
No.
And that's probably why B&O should team up with them, because like you can either have sound and not look at it, or have beautiful speakers and look at it, and then that's B&O.
Those Origin Acoustics grills are unbelievably expensive to me.
They are, yeah.
They look beautiful, but they are fucking over the top, man. $700 each.
Wow, it's a big slab of aluminium that they I think water jet the crap out of. And
is that how it's cut?
I think so. Like you don't do that with a Dremel.
No, you don't.
Because yeah. Let me see, where are they for
B&O tax generating enthusiasts? Yeah, there's a little bit of B&O tax on all this.
I mean, you have to be that precise. That can only be automated.
Oh, of course.
I mean, and it's thicker than people think, and you have to put the magnets in the right place, but they're absolutely gorgeous in real life. Like, yeah, again, the pictures don't do it justice on B&O's website. Like, I've seen this black anthracite, and it looks nothing like this. It's almost sort of more dark bluish hue, but very pretty. It
looks sick. It looks sick. I know, and especially the grain, because you can't see that pattern in the pictures at all. Like, it's very, very tricky on the eye.
But yeah, I mean, they are expensive. Don't get me wrong; they're maybe a bit too expensive, but they are pretty.
Well, if you think about it, like if you do a set of Palatians or Palatials, with the awful core and a BeoAmp 2, the core and amp 2, that's $2,500 plus the speakers. What, like, you're looking at about $4,000 worth of audio for one stereo pair.
Yeah, and again, Origin has very nice, easy to use back boxes that you can put in. That you can order them in different depths as well. And it's this sort of sound dead styrofoam type stuff with felt on it, and you sort of just cut out a template. You plug it in, and it cuts out off all the back noise to the other room, or if it's in an internal wall.
Yeah, between the floors. I honestly think that that's the only way to do the in-ceiling speakers. I just hate when people put them in in a joist void, right? And
it works, but not
yeah,
optimal.
it's nowhere near optimal.
So yeah, there's that. So the whole oh, did I share that link? Let me get the origin story in the chat, because I really kind of like that they did that. I think this is smart, because it also cuts out the initial hassle of having to set up a bunch of stores. And I mean, it's already expensive to open a store, and especially in a country where so few people know your name, and if they've heard of it, they've heard of it from the 90s or 80s.
I would disagree nowadays. Lately, I think it's more from the Ford and the B&O systems inside the Fords. More and more people start to recognize in America the brand because of that.
Good.
So
smart, clever, finally.
As I said to somebody I was talking to about a B&O, I work for a B&O, I was like, oh shit, yeah, my friend has it in the truck. Well, it sounds great.
Good.
Like, so you install those systems? I'm like, not in the cars. Those are done, whatever,
Yeah.
blah blah. But yeah, it was interesting that they, like, somebody I would never think that they would know what B&O is. They all of a sudden, buddy has a truck. So it's getting more and more popular.
But yeah, I mean, even Origin's marketing capability is probably better than B&O's in the US.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they understand it better, and they're, I'm sorry to say, not so Danish about it.
Well, it's just the truth, right? Or a fact, I guess. That,
Danes, I love you, but the way you communicate is a bit odd.
A bit backwards. At times. Not all the time, but at times.
Yeah. And maybe it's a bit extra with B&O that they almost huff on their own farts or something, but
sometimes.
But yeah, it's a thing. So good job on getting Origin on brand and having them join. To me, this is great. This is a smart idea, especially with people that actually care to reach out to the actual installers like you, where it's not like we dump a bunch of cables somewhere and call it a day. No, we actually go for quality. Like, we actually want to like patch stuff if we like making a hole too many or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, the work quality is something that just I never seem to be astounded by the lack of it. And yeah.
So yeah, there's that, which is good. Some more of where were we? So the financial outlook is maintaining an overall year-over-year expectation of -4% to -5%. Partially, they explain is that it has a lot to do with China and Europe being like, well, if you've looked at the financial markets in the last month or two, you kind of know we're not heading to the best of places.
Mm-hmm.
So -5%, it's not that bad. I mean,
isn't it true that the London bank almost collapsed last week?
Yeah.
Right on.
Because government. Yay. Yeah, we also had a nice like it was brought as sort of like, oh, it's not so bad. Like, inflation is only 17% here in the Netherlands.
Holy shit. It's not like, bad at all, isn't it?
Oh, it could have been 20.
Oh, really? Thanks, God.
Yeah.
Here's the 17% back.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's it's a thing. So people are obviously going to be a bit more tight with their money, and I don't blame them, because like Oof.
Well, yeah, you're running the podcast like you're in the middle of a fucking military base, only red lights and shit now.
Yeah. Well, it's orange. It's bloody orange. I can set it to red, and I'll do some of that in front of my window to get
It
some
looks
money.
red. It looks red from here.
Well, not that
It's
you care, but
orange,
Max Verstappen was Formula One world champion again today. So
also, you going orange for it?
no, it was orange last week, and it was orange the week before too,
Oh, okay.
and before that it was purple for the longest time. But you can set it to whatever; it's fine. There'll be 5 product innovations, including the return of the Emerge, which is like, so how is that 5?
I don't know.
Isn't that 4 plus something that you took off the shelves because you couldn't make it?
I finally heard the Emerge. I'm like, okay.
It's good at low volume, but that's what where it's good at, and it's kind of all it's good at.
Or louder spoken word radio. That's basically all it can take. Where it's not enough. Like not with the dude, like some black guy with a deep ass voice and a lot of bass
like
in it. That's not gonna
you
work.
couldn't
But
get that. What's the guy that does the Darth Vader voice?
oh god,
Hello.
freaking the size will fall off it.
Yeah,
but it's nice. We have the wood one, so it looked cool. Because the other one, I don't even know what the heck. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know. I don't think I'd own it.
I mean, generic enthusiast over on Twitch says financial report red alert. This isn't red alert. This is like things aren't going as well as they could. Like red alert would be like, oh, we expect the next year to go down by like 10%, and that's not what they're saying at all.
Mm-hmm.
And even 10% is potentially manageable, but I don't think that. I mean, I think a lot of this will be partially theater related.
Mm-hmm. I think the theater is going to be a big game changer.
Yes. Thank you, Christoph. James Earl Jones. God, that guy has an amazing voice.
Oh.
The guy that does Darth Vader.
Oh, okay. I would know. I don't watch Star Trek. I mean, whatever, Star Wars or Starface, whatever the fuck it is.
Whatever works for you. They will continue to run low inventories, so this is partially to push costs and stuff down, which I sort of get. They'll probably want to put more of the inventory at dealers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a balance of ordering and delivery date, because I have a feeling the reason we haven't seen Walnut yet on the theater or the Anthracite really, besides maybe 1 or 2 ones, is that like the same thing happened when the Eclipses came out. Like if you ordered the aluminium cover for it, you couldn't get it for the first 2 or 3 months because they had 2 production lines. Yeah, well, you got it for free, right? As a sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But the production line were so full, you just couldn't make the other color / product. Because, I mean, if people ever been in factories, it's not like, oh, I get 5 of these and I get 5 of these and just 10 guys start. No, you actually have to retool stuff. And
especially the anodizing part. But
like we have to get different vats and mechanical arms and stuff moving around. That's like you don't just from one day start making another color into the next.
I don't think that they actually retool. Like they don't have to change the liquids, but I think what they have to retool is the those hanger assemblies that hold the parts, because it's all different parts, right? So like when they're doing like when I was there six years ago now, in 2015 they were doing the Audi rings.
Yeah.
For all the A4 B&O sound systems. Fuck, dude! There are thousands of them, man. Like thousands of them on the racks. Like just and you know, then just coming through and they dip. Some were silver, some were black, and it's just weird how it like comes silver in, black out. Like holy fuck, and the water's clear.
Yeah.
How is that possible? But yeah, that was insane to see that the anodizing process. But yeah, the only thing that was really, I guess, crazy was the fact that how they had to deal with all that the attaching everything so it doesn't fall in the bottom of the fucking tank, right? Because you can't just like, put on a snorkel and jump into this fucking acid to fish out whatever the fuck fell in. Like, it's not happening.
Yeah.
So
God, you come out looking like that bad guy in RoboCop 1 that
that's
gets
right.
doused in
It's just
bath
all
of
melted and
acid.
shit.
I got the rings.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. So yeah, it's insane how they do it, but I think they
But
should
even the production
definitely.
lines of like post anodizing, because you still have to like attach everything, and I bet you that's on a conveyor belt with somebody like screws in. Like,
I
it
think
sounds like
they
tedious
use
work, but
clips
you
and
can't
shit.
just go like ram it in, and it's not that automated. So you have to.
Well, also you have to know where the touch points are that may not get as much anodizing, right, or whatever. I don't know how that works. So like you don't have those, white spots or weak spots. I don't know what the fuck. Like, I'm not an expert in this thing, but it was very impressive seeing that entire. And that's a huge, huge building, like the hall, where all these tanks are lined up. I don't know if you ever gone there or got to go there. You should.
I haven't. I've gone to other factories where they make similar stuff. I mean,
Yeah, but that ain't shit till you see 18 come out of the freaking bag.
I'm
Like,
not
oh
saying
my
it.
god.
I'm not saying it's the same, but I've like for higher education, I've been into a bunch of factories to like where you get to understand like just something as simple as making a desk chair isn't like, oh, you attach some wheels. No, you have like you need to find out where the bottlenecks are and if you can double up on machines and how much these machines cost and would that actually save you anything, or do you want this machine to work ahead of time so you have a bit of a stash and calculate that all out. And then we went to a bunch of custom stuff where they make low grade molds for like old fashioned water pipes that are still in the ground, where you need a connection piece with like a tap on it, and it's like this is fully custom shit. Like even the mall is like, or the mold is like you use it maybe for 5 things. It's
At
like
the most, yeah.
cool. That's expensive to do, but if there's no other way, I mean, you can dig up like a kilometer of pipe. I mean, that's more expensive.
Oh hell yeah.
So yeah, I've been in a lot of factories like that, and it's like, oh, you don't just say, oh, today was silver, tomorrow is no. That there's a retooling process, whatever you do, and if you're fast, it's a few hours. But if it's a smaller production run, it can take up to a day before you start doing the other product or the other color.
Yeah.
So as the Q&A, they the Origin Acoustics integrator, they have lots of access to high net worth individuals. That's what I wanted to pull. Are you high net worth individual?
So what's this crazy LGTV in the Lab 90's? What are you talking about there?
I'll get to that in a moment. Because one thing that this report made clear is that, especially in the US, they're going to target high net worth individuals a lot more over, let's say, the common man, middle income, higher middle income people. Partially because they give less a crap about paying high sums of money for custom stuff, which to me is a bit, I don't know how I feel about that, because apparently the high net worth individuals care less about deals. Like, apparently they apparently in the US they don't ask for discounts as often or at all. And to me that sounds like a differentiation between new money and old money. Because I know quite a few high net worth individuals here that are old money and they still think their 1990s Volvo is luxury. But you can tell it's old money because they drive that, because that's how you keep all your old money. Like, you don't spend it. So if they buy something new, they will ask for a deal, even though they can pay it probably 100 times over. So this is these are some of the bullet points Sandeep sent me. So if you want to take a look, whether you agree, disagree, or whatever with the analysis. But it seems like B&O is gonna more and more aim their products at high net worth individuals. So if you are one, good and well done. By the time I'm potentially a pro partner dealer or whatever, I'll sell you stuff. I'll give you a discount too.
So
use promo code Willie on an A9, please.
Oh God, no. It's not a real thing, anybody. Don't do it.
Not yet.
For all the ones that are just in audio, there is nothing like that.
But
oh boy.
Yeah, so I mean, there's that. But as for us, I guess, middle income people, I think B&O will target us less and less, and will go more after. I guess the difference is rich or maybe wealthy, but either of the two, they'll go more after the wealthy people, and I think they're gonna be more niche even than potentially right now.
In 5 years, we'll be reviewing stages and fucking headphones. You can't afford anything else.
Apparently, the real high rollers that are like you and I, but that every 5 years like spend 200-300 grand on B&O, were a bit annoyed that B&O has gotten so common man. And I think B&O is like, well, we kind of don't want to lose you as a customer, so maybe we can become a bit more exclusive.
So hence the pricing going up.
Yeah, if you look at the current pricing of the markets and whatnot, I wouldn't at all be surprised if maybe not December, but potentially January, there's another 10% price increase, and then another one in like July, August. I mean, if nothing else, to cope with inflation, but also with the enormous swings of money, share prices, exclusivity, because like they said with the last two 50s, 90s price increases, those price increases were partially for exclusivity reasons. And if your speakers are €100,000, you kind of see that they're exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's that. And I think I wouldn't at all be surprised if in the US, let's say in a year or two, the Beolab 50s are 50 grand.
What are they now? 40?
43.
Oh, fuck yeah, easy.
Which is
easy, bud.
Crazy,
easy.
Because they started around 30.
50s for 50, bro. 90s for 160. 180, double it.
I mean, they're already like $120,000 now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're stupid money. It's painful money now.
I mean, it was always painful money to me, but like new price 90s like are just out of the question for me now, whereas once they weren't.
Mm.
But it's I don't know, it's not the most pleasant, but it is what it is.
Tell you what, the headache that you would have moving those fucking things across the water, that would suck.
For that reason, I'm glad I don't have them at the moment, because moving will be expensive enough as it is.
It's a major pain in the balls, bro. Like, I know with mine, and I'm on the same continent.
Yeah.
But I can't, like, say one bad word about the pod storage company. Like, they absolutely delivered, man. Nothing fucking moved in the storage locker.
Sweet.
As I went to dig out my winter jackets, out of all the things, because I didn't think I'd need them anymore. Like, it feels bad. So there you go, 18 kilos.
Yeah, and
Very
if you don't
honest.
know what that is and you need freedom units, that's about 40 pounds, 39.5 pounds.
So there you go.
Because it's times 2 plus 10%.
Mm. It's funny, the icon for that, it looks like a comb.
Kind of, yeah.
I just noticed it. Like, it does look like a comb.
But I think
one of those old grandpa combs, you know, carry in the back pocket and shit.
Oh, they are the best combs, though.
They are.
Especially to get through all that Brill cream. Like they don't bend.
Oh, right on. It's funny.
I mean, whatever comes out of your hair, you can sort of go put on your eyebrows because they're probably also long.
Oh, God. It's just freaking wizard lashes or wizard brows. So.
Well, that's interesting, the amount of people that didn't answer this time, but answered the last time. Hello, high net worth people. You'll be targeted.
Leave your emails in the comments.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not begrudging anybody, because, I mean, 50s, 90s is a high net worth game.
It is.
And I understand people don't want to prance around going like, I'm a high net worth individual, that sort of thing. But this is apparently what B&O classifies you as now. And as you're the most important customer. So just know that if you ever need to negotiate. I mean, you're the desired audience, according to them. Sarah says, I personally don't think B&O can do a 2 times 10% increase in a year. We're on the verge of economical turnaround. Are we? Ugh, we're at the verge of an economical downturn. But the thing is, like, it depends on where you are in the sort of actual net worth. If you, like the actual high net worth individuals, they're probably thinking about earn 250 grand plus a year, if not more. Are those people really ever that much affected? I mean, more so in the US than here, but I mean, if you live in a stupid place where like rents are silly high, like New York or LA and that sort of thing.
Oh, God.
I mean, 250 is not the same as like local village here. Or 250 grand in Florida or Texas or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. Depends where you live. Like, I was looking at the rent. Like, if you want to live in something super nice in Florida, then you're paying fucking even 30, 40 grand a month for rent. For a, you know.
Yeah, but Tampa is already 25% less than Miami.
Is that right?
Well, yeah, I mean, Miami is the city. It's a world city, right? Tampa is sort of like, where's Tampa if you're not that worldly? So I don't think it's a good idea for them to do it, but if they want to be perceived as more exclusive, then you jack up prices is one of the easiest way to become more exclusive, because you quite literally put it out of reach of a lot of people. And that's a way of getting exclusivity.
We're not necessarily saying that it's right.
No. I don't like this at all, because this affects me too, right?
Well, so do I. Like,
I mean, this basically means I'm at the verge of being done in terms of buying a bunch of stuff. Like, I'll review everything, that's fine, but there comes a point to where, like, if you guys don't start super chatting me that 61 million so I can buy the fucking company, then it's sort of like, well, I've got what I got and I have to be okay with that. So I don't think like I'd rather them make more exclusive products that are better, but I don't see how they can do that in any short period of time. Like this is like the quickest band-aid if you want to be exclusive.
What, they're gonna come up with another freaking batch of turntables or some bullshit? Like,
I mean, that was the first one was 10 grand, and apparently if you have the original 400Cs, you could have bought them for 10 grand, right? And apparently you can easily sell the original ones for 15 now already.
Wow.
I mean, you'll have it sold in like a day or two, which is like crazy for something that expensive.
But there's people with money, bro. Like, it's just what it is. And B&O's realizing that, and
I think we're underestimating that
quite a bit. And I think that's just what they're seeing.
Parmi says, I spoke to my dealer in London and he thinks January will be an increase. I bought my theatre now as 5 to 10% is outrageous. I get it. I think the first, like they did it last time. Last year, we had 2 10% price increases as well on most things. The 28s were just new at that time, and the first price increase, they didn't go up, and the second one they did. Because I think even they realize that if you launch something and then before it's actually widely available, you jack up the price, that's a fucked up thing to do.
Fucking stupid. Yeah, that's stupid.
So
here's what you could have bought it for, but we didn't have it then, so here's now. What the fuck, bro? Like,
so I have a feeling like certain products will, by design, get less, more or less. Like the 10% was sort of across the board because the initial time 90's went from 85 grand to 100 grand, and then the second time they went from 100 grand to 103, which is like, why do you need 3 grand? Like, why? It makes no sense.
Those are the stupid chips that went from $50 to $300. That's why.
Yeah, but surely the last 15 grand covered that.
You're wrong.
I mean, it's like, why 3? Like, why all of a sudden you get like close to 20% and then the next one is 3? It's like, you didn't calculate this properly enough or something? What's going on? It's just weird. And I mean, if you look at the 50s are nearly up 45% in 5 years. So it's like,
yep, shitty deal for everybody. I don't know. I'm debating, like, do I buy the theater now and then lug it all the way to Florida, or do I buy it in Florida? But if I go to Florida in December, hopefully, then I'm before the price increase, right? If I go after the New Year's, then I'm gonna pay maybe 5 or 10% more on top of this fucking thing.
Yeah,
am I a fan of that? Not necessarily.
I mean, Swiss over on Twitch says B&O obviously don't understand elasticity of their demand. One would think so, but apparently they sell out what they offer. At any price, apparently, at the moment.
Yes, they do. They do. This is not really spoken about, but they do. Like that crazy Balenciaga thing didn't last a few days. That's it. It was gone immediately.
Yeah, and that was in the tens of grand, if I'm not mistaken, for that purse.
It was 8,200 euros.
Oh, sorry. Then I was thinking dollars. Like it was $10,000 or $11,000 or something like.
Yes, no, it was 8,200 euro for a purse, dude, and it was sold out immediately.
With an A1 in there, which is like 250 euro or something. And they sold all those in like 2 days or 3 days.
Yep.
Which is crazy. It got into the point last year where this, if you ordered 18s, you had to wait 6 months. Apparently, I mean, you see it in the secondhand market here a bit, because before, in here, specifically the Netherlands, it's a high trade country. And there was a lot of turnover where like big buyers / collectors sell off a bunch of stuff and then buy new stuff, etc., etc. Then COVID hit, and the second-hand market went flat because everybody just kept what they had. And
Mm-hmm.
then there was a run on the stores because at one point my dealer was nearly empty.
Yeah.
Because people were literally like, well, how long does it take to order something? It's like, oh, a month or two? Well, can't I have the one off the wall then? I'll pay you full price. It's like, okay, sure.
Fuck, right? But then now you have nothing on the wall.
Yeah, it's like, it's a demo product, right? So, yeah,
like,
but then I have it now.
I installed a stage on Friday, which is not a big fucking deal.
Mm-hmm.
She waited 6 months for it, 5 months, because it was the black finish, not the anthracite, but the black.
Yeah.
With the black cloth, or not black, like the dark gray cloth, whatever.
Yeah, the anthracite, and yeah, I know what you mean.
So she was so happy, and I'm like, holy fuck, like that long to wait?
Yeah. Apparently they haven't found the area yet where people go. No.
I think it might have been the contrast edition generic to this. I'm not sure, but it was a custom one.
I mean, it's
And she waited for a long time.
like, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to justify it. I'm trying to explain what's going on here because I don't like it either. I would much prefer 2020 prices even.
But that train is long gone, bro.
Yeah, but weirdly, when stuff went up in price, they started selling more, which is like, okay. I mean, it was the COVID hit that came, but apparently everybody spending time indoors all of a sudden thought, hey, actually, we could use some audio at home.
Well, but that's the whole thought process that I've had with a whole bunch of my clients that started doing renovations and all this. Like, well, fuck it. Like, we can't go for a vacation. Usually we vacation 3 times a year, twice a year. I can't go anywhere now, vaxxed or not, because fucking shit was locked down anyways for the first year. Because they didn't have any cure. And then the fucking plywood went to like Bitcoin money, right? Because everybody started renovating. It was like $65 a sheet of plywood in Canada.
From $11. So many trees there.
Yeah, like you paid for wood in the forest, bro, to bring in. Like, it was insane, and like my sales spiked up, like literally right in April when the shit hit the fan, and now everybody's sitting locked down in the house, right? Now my phone started ringing because, maybe this and that didn't work, and they didn't really give a fuck because they're so busy with their life that, who cares? But now you're constrained to your home for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whatever, right? Unless somebody goes out to get groceries and fucking follow the one-way patterns and shit, grocery store like a moron lemming. And I just had more and more people like calling, like, can you come over? Can you come over? And like, do you, are you scared? Nah, fucking dude, I'll just come over and fix your shit, man.
Yeah, and like, it was weird how those were golden ages, really.
Like, holy fuck! Like, I was busier than I was busy with Audi and my own B&O combined during the first wave of the COVID nonsense. Because everybody just now stuck at home, and a lot of the stuff that I actually did and I'm doing, a lot of it was network.
Yeah.
Because now everybody's home and everybody's gonna Zoom, Skype, fucking download, stream, or upload whatever for work and school. And shit was just starting to fall on everything. Everything was just falling on its knees. So I did a lot of network fixing, which now, if you look at Ubiquiti, everything is sold out. You can't buy Ubiquiti gateway, security gateway. You cannot buy it right now, unless it's used.
Yeah,
like crazy. It is crazy. It is crazy. This whole apartment block is all Ubiquiti managed.
That's where it all went.
Fuck. Just start peeling off the goddamn walls here. But yeah, there's an access point with 4 networks in each, like in this apartment, because like it's a 1503 unit, so there's 1503 A, B, C, D for networks, which I don't understand how that works then with one television. So everybody's going to be logged into the YouTube or Netflix, I guess, and then you just pick through the accounts. because the TV is going to have to sit on some sort of a Wi-Fi network. And I wonder if I hardwire that thing to the access point, what network is it going to sit on now, right? Like, I was thinking, like, fuck, I'll get some.
It's
I'll
a
get me.
VPN.
Oh my god! Like, I was thinking of getting some Philips Hue lights here, just color it up a little bit, and maybe dig up the gateway from the or BeoLiving Intelligence from the storage locker. I just don't know where it is, and I think it's somewhere deeper than I give a shit to dig for. So I don't know. I'll leave it as it is.
But yeah, don't get me wrong. I don't like the prices and where stuff is going. I think they're expensive enough as it is, and but I can't stop them. Unfortunately, it's and also a lot of it is probably related to currency exchanges. Because don't forget they're in Denmark, and you saw the stock price going down, right? Well, the Danish crown has done similar things. So, which comes to the weirdness where converted the theater as a TV experience with floor sound and everything, I think is cheaper here than it is in Denmark. But compared to here, it's cheaper in Sweden. So if you're Danish, you're better off to buy your B&O because of conversion rates and stuff in Sweden.
Shit.
I mean, the Harmony 77 as new, same price, is €1,000 less in Sweden than it is here.
Shit, it's worth a drive. Don't ask Eric to fucking post nor that shit, because even though it's in original packaging, you're gonna get 2 of those things.
Yeah.
Fuck. That's insane that it's different like that in different countries, but it's a unified product price.
Well, yeah, I mean, in Sweden they pay with the sexy money, the SEK.
So, like, North America still gets hosed anyways, so it doesn't matter here.
I have a feeling in the first price increase, North America will be slightly. It's hard to say because it's B&O USA that does it there, right? So they're on a different schedule. But now, since the dollar is so much stronger, this is actually good for Americans generally because it's closer in real price than it's ever been before, at least in the last 5 to 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the theater, I think, in dollars to euros is like 500 apart, something like that. But the conversion rate made that actually more in favor of B&O selling it from here. So maybe US doesn't go up by the same amount because the dollar is so strong now. But, I mean, if the Danish crown keeps plummeting like the euro does, then like at some point you need to ask more for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because your suppliers of chips and parts and raw materials are paid in other currencies. Like, you just have to. You can't
ignore it.
No, and the margins are not exactly enormous.
Yeah.
Mr. Rose says, for me, B&O doesn't present themselves as a high net worth value or high net worth brand. All smart speakers and headphones on first look. Was BeoPlay a better way to sell low end but maintain the exclusivity of the main brand? Yes, and this is what I've been saying since they reintegrated BeoPlay into the main brand. Not just for that, but also for complaints and shit. Like if your BeoPlay fucks up, yeah, that's the B brand. It's the, I don't know.
And now it's all B&O, right?
It's the Fanta to your Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same company, but like if people start complaining about Coke, it's a bigger problem than if they start complaining about Fanta.
Word.
So I think so. I think that's a problem with mostly the website, though. Because
as far as them selling shit off it?
Yeah, well, I went to the speakers tab, right? And if you're looking for high net worth value, you get an A1, a Beolab 20, and a level first.
That's the first thing that is. Yeah. Right on. Start with the 90's guys and 50's if you want to go high net worth. Not a fucking soda can in anthracite and whatnot.
I mean, and it takes a while to get to the exclusive stuff. So,
or do you think they're doing it because, like, if you like start scrolling from the top of like 90s and you know, oh, 160,000 Canadian dollars, you're like, oh shit, that's not a brand for me.
Yeah, but if you're looking for high net worth people, they don't care.
That's fair enough. I think they would like to see that from the top down, not from the bottom up, as far as like what the prices are.
Like now it's like, I have to get past these plebs, go out of the way.
yeah. And now you're finally talking, like, you know, even shape should have been higher up, and all the 90s and 50s should have been up.
I mean, if nothing else, for plebs like us, the Halo product should be the first product you see, in my opinion. I think physical stores have less of a problem with this, because they actually have, I mean, it's real life size, right? Like on a website like this, Beosound Emerge looks potentially larger than 90's.
Yes.
Which is kind of a silly thing, because you get no sense of scale with 90's until you actually see them, or like are good at visualizing the measurements they give you. Because they are, was it 1.27 meters tall or something like that, by 74 by 75, which is pretty huge.
That's a big speaker, man. That's a huge totem pole.
I mean, for the freedom-loving US people, that's 4.5 foot by 2.5 foot by 2 foot 8 or something. I mean, that's a big ass speaker.
Let alone the weight of it, which is what, 270 pounds, I guess? That would be 137 kilos.
136 is just under 300 each.
So,
because
a lot of laughs.
272 plus 10%, so 272 plus 27. It's pretty much 300, give or take 5 pounds.
Yeah, 5 pounds on that don't matter shit.
No.
That's what screws away that you carry.
It's like moving a linebacker. It's like
it's a huge speaker.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that if they want to go exclusivity, I think they should revert the pecking order of which this is being displayed. Like, it's funny that the shape is the only product that doesn't have the price on it that I noticed so far.
I think the problem is the modularity.
The scalability of it.
Because if you start from a 2-speaker system, that is so unrealistic. If you get to a 12-speaker system, you go like from, how could this be $3,000 and I end up paying 12?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people will have to explain that to you, but I think as soon as you start designing this, the explanation will come in the design.
Oh yeah, once you start stuffing speakers in there, and the price is just going up. Oh shit.
Yeah. I mean, you really shouldn't buy a 2-speaker shape if you can at all avoid it. But if you want it, I'm not stopping you, because it's a nice system. But if you can do 4 or more,
I would do 4 out of the gate, just like I did in my house.
Yeah, but they will sell you a 2-speaker shape.
I know. I was thinking about doing a 2-speaker shape, but then just like the design got out of hand, because I'm like, okay, well, it's fucking 2 by 1 meter wide. I'm gonna need more speakers. So then I put 4, because I'm like, maybe. And if you know what, if I decide to grow it, which most likely I will, I only need to buy an amp and 4 speakers again.
Yeah. And you just upload the layout and
change it.
I mean, so yeah. I mean, 90's are 115,000 USD.
Yeah. Oh, we got 60 people watching. Let's get some likes, yo. Come on. It's Thanksgiving. Give some thanks. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
If you haven't liked the show yet, it actually really helps out in the YouTube algorithm. It costs nothing. It just really helps. And I don't know why YouTube wants that so much, because 1,000 people could watch it, but if barely anybody likes it, they decide it's somehow less entertaining than if 100 people watch it and everybody likes it.
Mm.
It's weird. I don't know how they use those metrics, but this is what I see through the
on the back end of it.
Yeah. So thank you for that.
Yeah, any likes are appreciated.
But
so, we're a non-profit organization.
Quite literally, we're a loss.
We're all loss organization.
I mean, if you are one of those high network or net worth people and you want to privately donate, email me and I'll send you a PayPal link. That's fine too. I don't care if it's $1 or $5. Literally everything helps. Because currently, it costs more in electricity here to make the show than what it earns on YouTube. And I'm not even joking. It's really that sad.
It's insane how much the electricity went up in your side of the woods there, or neck of the woods, I guess.
Yeah. Let's not talk about it because it's a hot topic, quite literally.
For everybody.
Yeah.
Shiitake mushrooms, man.
So it's a thing. It's painfully annoying, and you sit there with all your lights on, just dunking on me.
Some down because it was too bright for the podcast. That's right. Well, at least I'm saving power by not putting a turkey in the oven. Imagine how many turkeys are being cooked right now in Canada, bro.
Wait, is it actually Thanksgiving?
Yeah. It's Thanksgiving weekend.
Happy Thanksgiving. No clue.
Yeah. No, that's the... Well, fuck, nobody does.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving.
That's right. The Americans are, I think they're, 2 weeks behind? Or it's like the next month, yeah. They go by Ukrainian calendar, I guess, or Gregorian one. So... yeah, it's a Thanksgiving weekend here. I don't know, man. I'm really debating the freaking, do I buy the stage or do I buy the theater?
This is USD. I think these prices for now are quite sharp. It's crazy to me that everything I bought in the last 5 years, except for maybe the Beosound 2, has gone up in value, even on the secondhand market.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a feeling that if you can get this, and if you want to, you're probably better off buying it now.
That's what I'm thinking too.
I mean, you'll probably be okay for the next quarter, maybe 6 months. But do you still want to buy this if this goes up by like $800? You probably do, but like, would you care it goes up $800? I would at that point.
No, I wouldn't care. It's, fuck. It's a chafed ass already. But you know what? Whatever.
I mean, I like it a lot. And I mean, mine should come in Tuesday.
What?
My theater should come in Tuesday.
You bought one?
Yeah.
You fucking bastard.
Wait, I told you last week and the week before.
I thought you were bullshitting.
No! With an 83-inch LG C2 panel.
You got an 8... So you get rid of the Harmony, I guess?
Yeah.
That makes sense. You fucking prick.
Wait, I bloody told you.
Fucking low net worth motherfucker over here. God damn it.
Well, now I am, yeah.
Now I am. Theater's on the way. Sweet. That's awesome.
I mean, they really should allow you to start up a company where you just deduct this. Like, I need to buy this from my YouTube reviews. They don't make anything, so I can all deduct it from income.
I could deduct it from my business still, but that's, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they allow that here. They see through that. I mean, I need to buy some 90's. I need to make 2 YouTube videos about this.
Dude, my 90's are still in my fucking stock inventory in my company.
Fine, good.
That's demo. Amortized, probably they're worth like $15 right now to the government. So Rudy Trudy can't cash out on my ass no more.
I have $15 for you.
The bastard. But yeah.
Yeah.
I think that
I got $2.
$2.
I got $2.
$2. Are these the ones from like for movie production use only?
No. It's the actual United States. I'll give you $2 for your 90s.
Deal.
I mean, you could buy 2 B&O shares with that. They'll go to the moon pretty soon.
Oh yeah, it's the next Shiba Inu right there. Yeah, they're gonna go to the moon, all right.
No, so yeah, that should be here Tuesday evening. So I won't have it up on Tuesday evening, but probably...
Tuesday evening. What the fuck is an Amazon guy delivering?
No, my dealer. But my
he's receiving it during the day sometime, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
And he brings it by after hours. So, and he shuts at 6 or 7. I don't know.
So when is he gonna carry that fucking harmony on his shoulder out the door, or what?
We haven't discussed that yet. But if he needs carrying, I'm here to help, obviously.
Watch him drop it down the stairs. Ain't mine anymore.
Basically. No, but like then it's insurance. But
yeah, it's a headache as fuck. Plus, do you really want to see your harmony tumble down the staircase?
No, but I don't want bad stuff to happen to him either. So
exactly. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. So you got to take apart the TV completely. Then you got to take the panel off.
Yeah, it's easy.
That's like a whole fucking thing.
No, not really. The big yeah.
Okay.
So the panel will come off, and but the panel coming off is not the hard part. It's more so moving the sound center because it's so fucking heavy. But he has the skates and everything.
Oh, good.
So you just take the wing panels off, then it comes over, and then you literally with a ratchet just bolt it in, and then you can just move it on wheels.
Yeah, but you're only cool up to the fucking stairs for you.
Yeah, and then we carry it down the stairs, and then you continue on rolling.
You can carry it by the skates then, I guess, right?
Not by the skates. The best way to carry it is by the legs that pop up and down, but you have to be very careful that you don't carry it sort of like this if the wings are on this side, because as soon as you stretch your arm out, you put pressure on those wings.
They bend.
Yeah, and they bend, and yeah, it's not something you bend back easily without taking the whole thing apart, and that's hours.
Fuck.
So, but we only need to carry it so far. The bigger
all the way
problem.
To his shop.
the bigger problem. Well, it's not really a problem, but the day after, I probably have to go to his shop to actually help him carry it out. The van as well.
Put it together again.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But I don't mind that. I like that sort of stuff. I like being there anyway.
Well, it gives you practice.
Yeah. Plus,
So
it's just fun.
Start being a pro over here.
I mean, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I like being at my dealership.
Dude, I used to hang out in the old shop like every Saturday. I would come in there and just hang out, shoot shit, play with the product, and
yeah.
Over time, I knew the product better than the guys that were selling it, and that stuck around till these days, nowadays, I guess, as far as the installations and setup and blah, blah, blah goes.
I'm wondering if I... we'll do this first. So, the LG thing and B&O you asked about is this 136-inch micro LED UHD TV from LG.
Shit.
And with a package deal, you get 90s with it.
Finally, something that makes the 90s look proportionately small to the TV.
They're both small compared to the price.
No shit.
$350,000
for a package.
Yes, for both of them together.
Fuck me. What do you use to drive them with? I wonder. What, they give you a core?
Wiser.
Oh, God.
If I'm not mistaken, this whole picture can fall down, or I mean, it's micro LED, so it comes in like mini square panels that all attach at the factory,
Mm-hmm.
and it's pretty crazy. But it's a very nice TV, but it's very new tech, and this is partially why the price is so insane.
Jesus Christ, man. That is expensive, though.
So if you're the high net worth individual and you're looking for some 90s, you might as well buy a 136-inch TV with it.
Special price, 2 for 1.
Yeah, it's it's a thing.
That's a lot of money. Holy fuck.
I mean, it's bigger than most projectors. Because most projectors only go up to 120 inches.
That is cool.
But it's not OLED, it's micro LED, so supposedly no burn-in whatsoever. It's basically normal LED in terms of service life, but the LEDs themselves are all the colors, and so it has OLED-like dimming and blacks, which is kind of interesting. And eventually, this will beat OLED. It's just at the moment,
it's not
that you can't afford it, and it makes even a BV4 103 seem cheap and small.
Fuck, it's a third of the price.
Yeah.
Damn, that is expensive.
Yeah.
But you know what? Back in the day, flat screen TVs were like, I remember like what the JVC plasma when they first came out. That B&O had, like, this is like back when the Lab ones were cool, so like early 2000s. And those TVs were like 15, 20 grand for not a B&O TV, just a store-bought nonsense. Like, it was definitely a lot of money, but all the new tech costs money, man. Development costs money, research costs money, and good for people that are first adopters because they support that progress and the movement of it, in my opinion. I'm just on a little different opinion with the B&O at it because I just don't like to be the fucking beta tester for something this expensive.
Nor do I.
But
I've been that enough times already.
But I might be beta testing that goddamn theater.
I wouldn't mind beta testing this.
What's this? Aruba with the fucking eyeballs?
The 136-inch 4K with 90s.
Oh, so I just saw the picture with whatever the heck was on the TV screen. That's insane. Yeah, I didn't even notice the 90s. Like, what are you showing? I'm like, oh shit, that's the TV still. That's insane, big man. That's cool.
I wouldn't know where to put it. I doubt it would mean it would barely fit under my ceiling here. Like I have like, so you have to have one of those American couches where you watch like this.
Shit. Yeah, that's a lot of TV.
Generic enthusiast is looking at mine rather nice surround system. How much is that new 83 worth? It's cheaper here than in the US, weirdly.
Is it?
Yeah, by like $1,000. I don't know why, but I mean, I compared Best Buy against our local sort of Best Buy, and it's like $1,000 less, and that's excluding sales tax in the US. And here there's 21% sales tax in it. It's like, huh?
Yeah, well, US gets fucked, man, or North America altogether.
Well, normally
US
they're way cheaper
and then
there.
We get hosed even more because we import it through the US, most of the stuff.
Oh, I totally agree. Canada gets hosed.
Oh,
but
yeah.
The thing is, like, the launch prices for these panels were like $1,000 more here than they were in the US, and the reasoning was through LG was always market size. But now after like 6 months of them being available, it's cheaper here than it is there, and it's like I don't get it. What, like, why? It's okay. Either way, I don't really care. It just makes it feasible to buy it here and not feel like I'm getting hosed once I bring it over there, because it works in the US.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, I mean, certain things won't, like cable receiver thing, but I don't really plan on getting cable, and if I get it, it's with a set-top box.
It's the only way you can here, anyways.
Yeah, and I found an aerial, like, for free over-the-air TV, which is still a thing in the US, that works through Plex. And then you can, there's 4 aerials in the Plex box.
Really?
And then you can distribute it through your house to everything that runs Plex. And LG runs Plex natively if you wanted to. So you can address your whole data library of films, music, and whatever you have, and then also live TV, which is nice.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, Plex is really kind of nice. I like using Plex a lot.
It's funny because I never really thought much of the Plex, because a friend of mine like we go back, he got poached by Facebook, and he lives in San Francisco now, more or less. I think he would be now on 8th year. And yeah, dude, like he was always running the Plex, and I didn't know what the fuck, or how good is it, whatever. And
yeah, so
he still uses it.
I have an Intel NUC, and that thing is from 2017, something like that. It has an i3, so it's a dual or quad core, I don't even remember, but it has a hard time playing 4K video natively. But I have it set up to run a Plex server, and it has no trouble encoding it over the network and then the TV doing the encoding.
Interesting.
Or the other way around, the TV doing the decoding and the NUCs doing the encoding. So it'll send through 4K video just fine with HDR and everything. So the NUC is now just running a Plex server, basically. And since it's an i3, if in standby, it uses like 5 watts or something.
Oh, wow, that's nothing.
Yeah. I mean, if you watch a video, I think the maximum it can actually draw is something like 25. So it's not that bad.
No.
And,
interesting.
So Plex is a godsend, because since this building is also all concrete, it also runs in the bedroom on the Plex app.
Oh, okay.
So I can pause a video here and just start rewatching where I left off here in the bedroom.
That's cool.
And I mean, you can do a bunch of music through it if you wanted to, but I mostly use it for films and TV shows and that sort of stuff. And if they have a subscription model. It works a bit less well here because it's an American-based company, but you can get a bunch of a lot of older TV, as in like TV shows from 3-4 years old. For like $10 a month, you get access to just about anything on demand. And like I said, you have this thing, this like sort of Plex box that you can hook an aerial up to, and you can tie it into your Plex server, and then you can watch live over-the-air TV anywhere in the house. So I like Plex a lot. It works great. Recommended, and it's quite easy to set up, honestly.
So do you make an account?
Yeah, but it's free. Like the initial accounts are free.
Okay.
Like when do you need? When I think the only time I've seen where you need to pay is if you want to use that aerial box and use the DVR functionalities. And then you pay $6 or $8 a month or something.
That's fuck all.
Like, okay, this is cheaper than Netflix, and you get more than Netflix. I mean, and if you allow it to, you can even use it as your server for anywhere in the world. Let's say you go on business quite often. You can log into your Plex server and watch your recording stuff from at home.
That's cool. I might look into that. Not that I will need it in this apartment or use it, but soon enough, once I'm over the border, I will.
Yeah, so if you live in Miami and I'm in Tampa and I bought a DVD drive and ripped it and put it on my server, I could give you access to my server and you can watch it at your place.
That's cool. That is cool.
Officially, that's how it goes. Making the first part.
This fucking FBI will bust through the door any minute at Mikey's house and shit.
Me and arr!
Oh God!
Sailing the high seas, matey.
Fuck. So what did you get? Did you get the wood or no?
Yeah. So I got a 65-inch theater, as in the 65-inch wings with the oak, and an 83-inch panel.
Nice.
And that'll go
I think the 77-inch looks too much silver, too much aluminium.
Yes. And I mean, the way I sort of came to the proportions is on the Harmony, obviously the screen is 77, but if you take the cover off the wing, then that's for 65.
That's right.
And that actually, like visually, how that lined up looked quite good, but it's a bit close. And we both thought that it looked a bit better if, like, either one was a bit smaller or one was a bit larger, aka the screen being larger.
Mm-hmm.
And the 83-inch is more or less 6 centimeters on top 3 sides larger than a 77. So it's not a heck of a lot larger. But in terms of total picture area, that's quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I'll be hanging it on a faux wall bit will basically make it about half the size. So the front of the TV right now is about 24 centimeters off the back wall.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just can't get it any closer. But I'll make us. I have it ready downstairs. A bit of faux wall I need to make and then attach to the wall, and then the front of the 83-inch panel will be about 11 centimeters from the wall.
Okay.
So it'll be a lot closer to the wall.
How far behind is it going to be centered basically on the theater?
Yeah,
more or less.
Yeah. And so where the 83-inch, the front of the panel will sit is more or less in the middle of where the stand is of the Harmony. That's how much difference there is in terms of flatness. So, I mean, from here, instead of watching TV and going like that, I can now just stay sitting upright because the viewing angle will be better.
Sick.
Yeah, so next podcast that should be up, and we'll see who sees. Because I'm just not going to mention it.
Order one or not? That's my question now. Shit.
We have about 10 minutes, and I'm going to throw this out to the chat, and I'll start a poll.
What's the poll about? Should I sell my Beolab 28s? Yes, no, maybe.
Oh, God. So let me know, and I'll try and explain where I'm sort of coming from. I really like the 28s. Don't get me wrong; they're fabulous speakers, and I like how they sound generally. I like how they function, what they offer, the value they hold. It's just that compared to 50s, 18s, and 17s, they don't sound the same. It's a different. It's hard to say. I mean, I think I said last week.
Well, what if you put the theater in there and they tune themselves with it properly, so they actually do sound proper?
I don't think it's that. I think they gave it a different tonal balance, right? Because my one complaint about them is that how they attack bass and how they make everything sound modern. Let's say you put on an original Beatles track and it sounds like it was mastered in 2008 or something. Which is kind of like, wait, this is weird. Whereas with the 50s, it sounds like it came from the 60s. If I only had 28s, I would gladly buy another set of 28s or two. But since I have 50s and 18s that I'll never get rid of, it's kind of strange that they sound very good. And this is the hard part to explain, but they don't sound the same. It's like they sound closer to 5s than they do to 50s. And I like 5s, but 5s don't sound like 50s. And 5s don't sound like Beolab 1s. So
they have their own sound, yeah.
So I've been playing with like 17s, the extra 17s I have in the back. And they are much more sort of in line with the tonality of 50s and 18s than they are with 28s.
Interesting.
And
but I'm not surprised.
Part of my thinking is, if I have a theater up front and 50s, like, do I really need this much bass in the back as well? But also, will I notice? I won't know fully until Tuesday, but I've been seriously considering selling the 28s, partially because of how they match with each other. I don't know, it's even a bit controversial to me. It's sort of...
I see exactly where you're coming from, because I've listened to the 28s now. Obviously, I don't own them, so it's limited time of enjoyment, I guess. But for that time of enjoyment, you critically listen, right? Because you have the time to listen to them. And I agree, the bass is fucking weird on them. To me, like, it's okay unless you start going over 65, and just they started to run away from themselves. Also, because it's a downward firing bass driver, they have a lot of resemblance to the Lab 5s, where it transfers the bass and the vibration directly into the floor structure. And if it's like here, that it's a wood floor, then the whole fucking, like, you're shaking the termites off the joists, right? Where you're not doing that on the concrete floor. It's a completely different sound. It's way more rigid of a bass because there's more reflectivity. There's more hard surface to it, right? There's not enough flex. So they are very also placement, I guess, dependent, or surface that they sit on dependent. And I do agree with you that they do sound. They're trying to make it better than what it's supposed to be as a track. Like, if you're supposed to listen to Louis Armstrong, then let it sound like shit, because it was recorded as shit. Even though it's a great music, the era that music was produced in dictates the quality of it.
Yeah.
Period.
And that's where 50s shine, because 50s make anything sound like it was meant to sound.
They're transparent. These things just, to me, they're like the fucking TikTok, Instagram picture of speakers, right? They really put a lot of filters on the shit. But you know what? The girl ain't that hot when you take off all that nonsense, right? So,
and this is my personal the point I have a hard time getting over, because I like how they look. I mean, they're not 18s per se, but they're not far off. They're very slender, which is very nice, and I like the foot. I mean, I like them as they are. Do I love them, though? I've had them for about a year now, and I still can't quite say that I love them.
No, but I think you also fall into the 50s and 90s syndrome, that I would call that once you hear the speakers of that caliber, you're not that you become unreasonably overcritical, but you just have this now, what I would call, for a lot of people, an unrealistic reference point, right? Because to some people, like, if they buy the 28, that's the best fucking speaker they've ever heard. right? You have them as rear channels if you think about it, right? So, so
Oops.
it's just you just look at it like, well, fuck. Like if I turn around and I listen to them, right? Because I have the 50s on the side. So it's the same thing like me with the 90s. Like I just couldn't buy these. Like if I were to do anything that is a rear, I would go no more or no less than a set of 50s to tie in the whole room. Obviously, I'd have to have a big room for that. But I don't think I would go with the 28s if I were to go with like a rears for my 90s. I think I would stick with a set of 18s, maybe another set of 18s, and maybe throw a fucking set of lap fours as the heights, because those just are effects. Like they're not really there for the bass, and the fours can handle the scream and they look kind of cute. So
I have to disagree slightly though, as in the 50s 90s syndrome, because this last week I've been listening to the 28s and 17s more or less non-stop. By themselves and nothing else. And I've come to realize how heavily underappreciated 17s are.
Oh, God, it's a sin.
Dear God, are they good. And I think for the mid and treble, I prefer the 17s over the 28s. If I have to do the total sound, the 28s are better. But I'm thinking for the money, if I really want to use it as such, couldn't I just get a 19 with 17s in the rear? It's like
I don't think you would even need a 19 in the rear, bro, with the 50s and what.
No, I don't mean need, but like if I want that much bass from the rear and use that as just
but I think you'd have to do a lot of fuckery though in a true image, because I think that by
not
default,
with the theater anymore.
Yeah, with the theater, I would know that. But then again, I guess it would redistribute the bass as it needs to, right?
Yeah. With the theater, you just set it at rear sub and you measure it and it does its own thing and it sets it to all the correct levels. You can make a speaker group with just a 17 and 19, measure it, and it does it comparatively again.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why I'm thinking, because, I mean, if I sell them now, there's still 2 years warranty on them. And it's global warranty, so like B&O doesn't care where they come from. So if anybody's interested, send me an email and I'll consider it. I mean, I haven't fully
agreed with yourself to it.
Yeah. Because
why don't you just package it with the fucking TV? Tell your dealer, bro, listen, man, I figured. I had a change of heart, slept fucking wrong, my neck hurts, I want the 28s out of the house.
No, that's already done as is. No. But yeah, like there is an airiness and a clarity to the higher end in the 17s where, I mean, you've had 3s, right?
Oh yeah,
3s are really good speakers,
other than 50s.
But 3s are really good speakers, but they don't sound like 17s.
Oh, there's no way. There's not enough punch in those. Plus the slop from the passive radiators, the bass accuracy is nowhere near.
Yeah,
at the level of 17s.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's exactly that, but it's sort of similar. Where they just also the era changed. They just have a different tonality to them. Like the 17s are much clearer, like Lab 1s, than 3s are much more similar to 5s. They're a bit, the tweeter isn't, I would say woolly, because I like that ear-piercing clarity that 1s give. Whereas 5s are sort of round and everything is smooth and pleasant. And I love 5s, but I'd rather have 1s if I can have one or the other. And this is what I'm thinking.
For you in the locker, bro. Don't worry about it.
Sweet. But this is why I'm thinking, like, I mean, probably the most amount of money I can get for them is right now, because, or within a few months or so, because the price is going to go up. There's 2 years warranty on them. I have a set of 17s that are gorgeous, and just like this last week, I've had several days where I went to over 80 dB on the 17s, and it's like, god damn, I haven't done this a lot before on just 17s, and they sound great.
Yeah, they don't sweat much.
And it's Yeah, it's just interesting to me because I mean, like these up here, where are they? There, those 17s. They're at a weird angle to just listen to them. So I've sat in this chair in the white chairs and just had the 17s like that and just listened to them for an hour or two and blast a bunch of tunes. And it's like, actually, I kind of never really knew that even those were that capable. I mean, maybe I did, and it's sort of like, and that's where the 50s come in because your baseline is sort of fucked up.
Only reason why I got rid of my 17s because they were in black color and they matched nothing in my house. That is the only reason why I got rid of them. If I had the silver ones, I'd probably they'd be packed up in the fucking container right now with the floor stands and shit and all.
But I mean, so, I also have a feeling it's slightly the power in the treble because if I'm not mistaken from memory, the tweeter in the 28s has a 100-watt amp, and it's 160 watt in the 17s. So I mean, 60% more power is not peanuts.
No.
So yeah, it's one of these things. Anyway, 54% say yes, 31% say no, 15% say maybe. Let me know in the comments once the podcast is over. I'm really interested to hear your opinions on this and if it made any sense at all. Don't forget to please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't yet already. It helps us out a great deal. I'm going to call it for tonight. Hope you all enjoyed the show, and we'll see you tomorrow, most likely.
Oh, yeah, I'll be, because it's Turkey Days, so fucking we're off.
Well, good luck Turkey Day, Canadians, and see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Bye.